says your expenditure is projected to exceed 5% of your adopted budget. The administration shall notify council and council must amend the budget. Okay, if they come in and take all of the budget, and we spent $1 million, they're gonna write it down. Revenue works the same way. Revenue is budget for $1 million in sales tax.
Glad to meet you. I had it printed at my house. Just show the money. Oh, it's yours. That's just one thing. This budget brought over this thing. I can't put it together. Starting this thing. We should have started this process. No. When Brandon left us. When Brandon left us. We still have time to get it started. I mean, look, this last year we had to come to the 15th of April. Okay? Well, I've been trying to compare notes, you know, just the version of the 24th, you know. So we in the budget show. Payroll. This one here, 150,000 for 100%. 300, so I don't have contract. Master plan, we just did it. We go like they do How's the foot, man? You still hopping around? Or you feeling better?
No, I'm still there. You see, I had been showing. I had shoulder from this.
All right, that's it. All right, y'all. 5:30. All right, we're gonna have a public hearing first. Number 1. Adoption of ordinance number 4262, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning, Section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Vince Diaz Properties to rezone partial 3271036 located at 1406 North Coontrap Road, being 2.96 acres from Zone C1 Limited Commercial to Zone C2 Commercial. Public hearing, if anyone wants to speak on behalf of it or against. All righty, with that being said, we're going to move to number 2. Adoption of ordinance number 4263, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning, Section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Vince Diaz Properties to rezone partial 2870800 located at 630 West New River Street, being 5.98 acres from Zone R8 residential single family to Zone C2 commercial. If anyone wants to speak for it or against, time is now. Number 3, adoption of ordinance number 4264, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Vince Diaz Properties to rezone parcel 2613600 located at 1526 North Coon Trap Road, being 0.4 acres from Zone R8 single family residential to Zone C2 commercial. Anybody wants to speak for it or against? Number 4, adoption of ordinance number 4265, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Stoller Group to rezone Lot C5B of parcel 2003743 located in the waters of Conway, being 2.00 acres from Zone R3M25 residential multifamily to Zone B1 limited business.
Good evening. My name is Blake Brinson. I'm here on behalf of Stoller Group. We're the developer and owner. I just thought I'd take a quick minute. This is really a continuation of what we were here for last month, which is the formation of a commercial parcel at the front of our development. So this is simply just moving 2 acres from our multifamily zoning to the commercial zoning. That way we can have roughly a 4.5 acre commercial parcel at the front of the development. Happy to take any questions.
No questions. Number 5, adoption of ordinance number 4266, an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2024-2025 operating budget. Number 6, adoption of ordinance number 4267, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 general fund budget. Number 7, adoption of ordinance number 4268, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 capital outlay budget. Number 8, adoption of an ordinance number 4269, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 utility fund budget. Number 9, adoption of ordinance number 4270, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 wastewater impact fees fund budget. Number 10, adoption of ordinance number 4271, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Tangamore Economic Development District budget. Number 11, adoption of ordinance number 4272, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Conway Economic Development District budget. Number 12, adoption of ordinance number 4273, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Pace Center Economic Development District budget. Number 13, adoption of an ordinance number 4274, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Industrial Development District budget. Number 14, adoption of the 2025 property tax millage rates on property within the city of Gonzales. If anybody wishes to speak on any of those items, floor is open. If not, we're going to close and we're going to move to the regular meeting. All righty. Well, Prayer is going to be on Miss Cynthia. Charlie, you're going to vote first.
Please bow your head. Father God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for our health and our strength. We thank you for our mayor, the city council members, the chief of police, and everyone who came out to the Gonzales City Council meeting tonight. Father God, please help us to stay respectful, focused, peacefully, united, together. Father God, I ask that you would guide us to make the right decision. These things I ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call, Ms. Terry.
Councilman Tyler Turner.
Here.
Councilwoman Terry Linder. Here. Councilman Eddie Williams.
Here.
Councilman John Woodrow.
Here.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray.
Here.
We have a gentleman that wanted to speak. I think it's something that's not on the agenda. If it's pressing, is it something, is it emergency, sir? Yes. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay. I'm James Berthwell, resident of Gonzales, been a resident for a long time, been in my property since 1980. I've requested the documents that they granted my neighbor to put up a fence. And I still not got any documents. There's a gas meter that is next to the fence, and I understand from a city employee, there's got to be 5 feet of severance on the side of that meter, all the way around it. That's not happening. That fence is, within half a foot of that meter. When they put the fence up, they broke a water line. Not sure if 811 was called, but I do know that 811 states that you cannot build a fence over a servitude. There is a drainage system that runs between my property and this person's property. 2 drainage culverts. So that person should not have been allowed to put that fence where they put it. Somebody approved it. I've yet to see the paperwork on it. I've requested, I sat in your office once. I asked Eric to come out one morning and look at it. 6:45, I waited for him for 45 minutes. All I want to see is that this was done correct. And I'm not getting any help on this.
Yes,
So
Mr.
I have to
Berthelot.
adjust.
Yes, you and I did have a conversation by phone, but you never sat in my office personally. But we did have a conversation by phone, but I can guarantee you,
okay.
you will have that paperwork tomorrow. We do have the paperwork. You will have it tomorrow.
Okay.
No problem.
But my next thing is this. 811 says you cannot put a fence on a servitude. That fence is on a servitude. So if something happens to that drainage, and I know where the drainage is because when my brother was the mayor, I had to get permission from me and Mr. Graham, who owned the property next to me, to put those culverts in there so we could drain the front half of that subdivision. And it's worked. It has done the job over there. It used to flood every time it rained. So my point here is you can't build over a servitude. You gotta have a 5-foot thing around it. I'm not getting any justice on it.
You'll have that paperwork tomorrow. I'm more than sure we have it. I know we do. So we're
Okay.
good.
I'll be looking for it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 5, recognition of East Ascension High School's track and wrestling state champions. Yes. Yeah. Y'all are ready? Y'all want to take pictures with the whole council or? Yeah. Tell her what we got. Yeah. Okay, I'll read y'all bios right quick, yeah? Okay, track. Christian McGrett is the 2024 and 2025 indoor shot state champion. She is also the 2024 and the 2025 outdoor shot put state champion. Early this year, Christian set the all-time state record for a female high school shot punter at 50.04. Additionally, she won the 2025 discus state championship, giving her a grand total of 5, which makes her one of the most decorative EA Spartans in the school history. Next year, she will be competing for the University of Tennessee track and field program on a full scholarship. Unfortunately, Kristen could not be here tonight. She has already reported to Knoxville to start her training and summer classes. All right, and the next one is Katie Truott, is the 2025 indoor 60-meter hurdles state champion at the 2025 outdoor state championship meet at LSU. Katie won the 100-meter hurdles. At this time, Katie has several scholarships offers from different schools, and she will soon decide where she will continue her education and track career. Wrestling. Brian Stewart is the 2025 Division I 165 pounds wrestling state champion. As a sophomore, Brilliant was the #1 seed in his weight class. For his junior year campaign, Brilliant looks to defend his state championship title. Adam Crash is the 2025 Division I 138 pounds wrestling state champion. Adam was also the #1 seed in his class as well. Adam also passed the 200 win mark during his senior season. That makes him #1 of only 9 wrestlers in LHSAA history to achieve that accomplishment. Proudly, two of the other 9 are also from East Ascension. Adam will continue his wrestling career at the United States Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York, where he will be on a full scholarship.
All right, if we could get a photo with council, that would be great. Council, can you come to the front to take a photo? And then I'm going to get the coaching one also. Our coaches out here with you guys. So you'll step in also. Awesome. Thank you and congrats, guys.
That's good. You got him? Okay. 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 Approve the minutes. Number 6, approve the minutes of a special meeting of the mayor and the city council taken on Monday, May 5th, 2025.
I make a motion. A second.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Tyler Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicky James?
Yes.
Number 7, approve Wednesday, May 28, 2025 as the opening date for Gemini Park Spray Ground.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicky James?
Yes.
Number 8, approve a special event permit request of Sierra Williams Herbert with Standing Grace Ministries to use the Gemini Park on Saturday, October 4th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to have a cancer walk.
Good evening. Hi, the date is October 25th. First.
October 25th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, you want to say something?
Sorry, but this walk is really special. I am fighting cancer right now, and so I want to make it a community thing because I know there's a lot of different people that's going through cancer. So I want to make it awareness and definitely for our city. So I want to do something different. That's pretty.
Sounds good.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Okay, roll call. Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicky James?
Yes.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Number 9, adopt the updated building permit fee schedule.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This adaptation is actually just in addition. The last adaptation in November last year apparently omitted one section of this. Right now, it currently goes up to a max 500,000 valuation for a commercial fee. This adaptation just adds that last part that was supposed to be in it originally, and it's everything greater, 500,000 and greater in valuation to assess the permit fees for commercial. So,
Thank you, Mr. Eric.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Vicky James?
Yes.
Number 10, approval of a citizen petition request for the city of Gonzales to set speed bumps on South Lexington. We have a motion?
But they signed off, everybody from that, so there anybody here from there? I see the forms. It looks like they good with it.
Yes. We do have a gentleman here if y'all need him.
Is he gonna speak?
Do you care to say anything, Mr. Don? Okay, he doesn't want to speak.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second it. You made the motion, I second. Eddie made the motion, I second.
Roll call, Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Bidwell.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Sophia Gray.
Yes.
Number 11, approval to submit an application for the City of Gonzales for the 2025-2026 Keep Louisiana Beautiful Grant.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm in the process of writing a Keep Louisiana Beautiful grant specifically for beautification projects. The maximum amount of money that you can request is $10,000. We were working on a package to submit for the entry to Municipal Park for our proposal this year in the amount of $8,000. I received the drawings back from, like preliminary drawings, after the packets went out, but just know it would be around the sign going into Municipal, and then as you leave, some beautification and some plants coming out of Municipal. There's some very specific rules about what you can and can't put, so we were trying to adhere to all of those. And then we would, in partnership with this grant, we would host a community day to plant and put those plants in the ground as part of the grant stipulations. It is due June 20th, so we wanted to go ahead and get this for approval to ask.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Roll call, Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Bidwell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sophia Gray.
Yes.
Number 12, final vote on ordinance number 4262, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning, Section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Vince Diaz Properties to rezone partial 3271036 located at 1406 North Coon Trap Road, being 2.96 acres from C1 limited commercial to zone C2 commercial.
It's just that we got to do roll call. You have to make a motion.
Yes, motion, roll call
I'll make a
vote.
motion.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Bidwell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sophia Gray.
Yes.
Number 13, final vote on ordinance number 4263, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning, Section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Vince Diaz Properties to rezone partial 2870800 located at 630 West New River Street, being 5.98 acres from zone R8 residential single family to zone C2 commercial.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call, Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Bidwell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sophia Gray.
Yes.
Number 14, final vote on ordinance number 4264, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning, Section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Vince Diaz Properties to rezone parcel 2613600 located at 1526 North Coon Trap Road, being 0.49 acres from zone R8 single family residential to zone C2 commercial.
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Bidwell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sophia Gray.
Yes.
Number 15, final vote on ordinance number 4265, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 22, zoning, Section 22-2, zoning district, to approve the request of Stoll Group to rezone Lot C 5B of partial 2003743 located in the waters of Conway, being 2.00 acres from Zone R3 M25 residential multifamily to Zone B1 limited business.
I'll make a motion to approve it. I'll second.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Number 16, final vote on ordinance number 4266, an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2024-2025 operating budget.
A motion to approve. I'll second it.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Number 17, final vote on ordinance number 4267, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 general fund budget.
A motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, roll call vote, Councilman Turner,
No.
Councilwoman Lambert,
No.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux,
No.
and Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Number 18, final vote on ordinance 4268, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 capital outlay budget.
A motion to approve.
Jacob, on this, on the outlay budget, what, to keep our projects that we got going in capital outlay,
Yes.
we have to make a,
So, there was correspondence sent out Friday morning,
Right.
requesting that we update the capital outlay budget to only include projects that were currently under contract or that were 100% grant funded. So, except for two items, one of those being a ambulance. Chief has the opportunity to purchase a second new ambulance. He was previously approved to purchase one. They've had supply chain issues. He has an opportunity to get a second one at the current point in time as well. If he does not get that approved, he could be looking at a couple of years before he can get that new ambulance. So he requested that stay. So that's a new item that was not previously approved from not a carryover item or not a construction project under contract. The other item is that the Pace Center did have about $115,000 in small equipment that was remaining based upon the correspondence that was sent out Friday. But the correspondence removed all new capital outlay projects, all new equipment purchases.
all new.
So changes were made to the original budget that we seen at.
So the changes were requested on just the capital outlay, correct?
Did we go by that 10, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, if we make changes to any part of the budget, we gotta go through the process again and wait until.
I would have to defer to legal, that's gonna be a legal thing.
I would think so. That has to be published and go through the process again.
So just, I will make a substitute motion to adopt that capital outlay budget minus with the,
I think what legal's saying is that we need to re-advertise, is that correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Davis, you would like us to see us re-advertise that capital budget,
so we gotta re-advertise.
because they had changes to it.
And what is the effect of that?
So we're gonna have to republish it in the paper. There's a 10-day, public notice period where the public can come view, the budget. And then you will, either at the next meeting or have to call a special meeting to then adopt that budget.
And what happens to the funding between now and that special meeting?
Sorry?
What happens to the funding between now and
The
the
projects
special
cannot, the projects are unfunded. Come May 31, legally, we cannot expend any money on any of these projects.
meeting? Is there a budget that will be considered, or is it 50% of the last approved budget?
So my understanding of Larson Act, I'm not a lawyer, my understanding of Larson Act is that, if no operational budget is adopted for a fund, then, the city is then granted 50% of the previous year's adopted budget. That does not happen for capital outlay, from my understanding, but don't quote me on that. I would need some help doing some research
We'll do that.
from you, Mr. Davis.
Okay.
So it'll only be for 2 weeks if we re-advertise?
So we have to see, what date, so the process is we have to get it to the paper by a certain day, and then we get into the next publication, that starts the 10-day period. So I don't know when the data has to get submitted. Friday for the next Thursday?
But either way, it's gonna have to be that way with new items put on it, right?
Right. At the consultation of your legal team, yes.
So that's correct, Alan?
Right.
It's kind of mute then, right?
What's that?
It's kind of just
Yeah.
an item that we just gotta come back and revisit. Do we vote?
Yeah. If legal says that the changes were made, that we need to re-advertise, and that's what we're gonna do.
In all fairness, council, I never got any notification or any correspondence in regarding to capital outlay. So I didn't know what was in or what was out.
So on this ordinance, we just need to leave it as is and just come back?
So
with-
either you leave it as is, as what was advertised, or you have to re-advertise what legal is.
But without the new items listed?
So what I'm understanding, Mr. Davis, is that either they can adopt it as it was presented in the paper to the public, or we have to re-advertise it all.
With the new items.
We have to re-advertise any budget that is not adopted. And goes back through this process. Correct.
How long would that delay? How long for a delay?
So if we get a consensus on what projects we want to fund, or we can just, we can get something into the paper by Friday, which next Thursday would start the, public notice period. So it's 10 days from that date. Trying to do my calendar math in my head, but we're probably looking at mid-June.
By June 16th or something.
So approximately 2 weeks.
Probably so, yeah. I mean, once we get it to the paper, we can figure out what day we can have a special meeting and call it then. To get it through as fast.
Do we amend the capital outlay budget to
So
include that?
if we go bare bones, and let's just say we keep the projects in it that are either have previously been funded or are in process,
Uh-huh.
we can then come back and amend it to add any additional equipment items. Yes, you can go back and amend your budget, is a short answer. But we're gonna have to go through this advertisement process each time.
But still, if we amend it to keep the capital outlay projects that we have under contract and win the grants for, we can keep the projects moving forward.
Yeah.
And the other stuff we'd have to
I
come
mean,
back.
we'll have a two-week period where we can't pay. We cannot pay the contract in those 2-week periods without a budget.
But if we do it this way, we can pay them.
If we get this done in the paper, to the paper this Friday and do it next Thursday, we can get it done pretty quick.
So we have to amend the budget right now?
No,
To
so
bring
you're
in the
not
new-
taking, if you don't like what was advertised, you're basically voting up or down, yes or no? That's all we're doing tonight, and we'll come back. What you can do is call for a public hearing if we get back into the date.
So this is just to keep the ambulances and the,
One thing I would say is that we have an ambulance, the first one, that's a continuing project. It's supposed to be in the first or second week of June. And, as far as what, Mr. Wagensback said, we wouldn't be able to pay for it if it comes in before this amended capital outlay budget would take effect. It'd be sitting at the dealership without us being able to legally pay for it.
so if we adopt that capital outlay, like the ambulance can be paid for, all the new items can be paid for.
Correct. What was presented was each departmental's wish list, basically, is what it provided for. Because of the short period of time we had to get the data together, everything was put into the budget.
So,
Was the police budget, Mr. Jacob,
Yes.
was the additional police put in that budget, or was it
There were 2 officers that were funded in the operating budget.
2 in the operating budget?
Yes, correct.
Okay, what about the other 2?
They were not placed into the budget.
Not even in the overlay?
Ma'am?
It's not in the other budget?
No.
So we don't personally approve it, but you said we could operate off of 50% of last year's budget, right? So
Correct.
that means they still would have money
For
to
each
operate.
department,
They still would have
for
some
example,
money.
PD, if they were approved for $4 million last year,
They get 2 million. So
on
whatever
a
is
line item
budget,
by line item basis, correct?
right? So whatever his budget was last year, police department, fire department, they get 50% of it. So they still would be able to, if it covers it, he still would be able to purchase the ambulance or whatever. It's not gonna cover, but you still have money to operate.
No,
Okay, operate.
Operation,
Okay, still operate. Same thing for you, still got operate. So
no.
can't purchase nothing, all right, but still, changes were made to a budget that to stay within rules, regulations and stuff. I think we need to follow the, what our council,
We have to
Suggestion.
re-advertise.
be advertising.
so Alan, you think we just need to re-advertise and just hold up?
Right, I think you can get it done within the next 2 weeks and before, is it June 16th? I'm all about it.
If we get it to the paper by the 30th, it'll run on the 5th. 10 days would be the 15th, which falls on a Sunday, so you can call a special meeting on the 16th.
Okay,
Yeah,
That'd be the fastest we could do this.
okay. We can call
But
a
we've
special-
gotta have a consensus, we've gotta have a list with consensus of what we wanna do from a capital perspective before we go to the paper Friday.
And my recommendation is based on pure transparency of the budget and what's being presented and what the citizens will be paying for.
So what you sent out Friday, that's what we should adopt?
That would be what I would recommend at this point in time. Projects that have been funded in previous years, equipment that has been funded in previous years, and in ongoing construction contracts.
Okay. It's gotta be advertised, so. But that's not in this ordinance here, right?
Yeah.
So how do we just,
So what I need to do is redistribute, what was sent out Friday with an updated ordinance. And we've got to introduce that ordinance. So that's,
okay, so we just do we table this line item
yeah.
and wait till
So Mr. Davis, can we introduce the ordinance
tonight?
tonight?
You can,
Even though it's not, if they,
based upon the one that you submitted on Friday?
correct.
Yes.
We have the original capital outlay ordinance in Word. There's a Word document that was distributed. The detail behind that was sent out Friday. So
That was-
everybody should have it in writing.
And that would be what would be published.
Correct.
All right.
agenda to do that last?
That's correct.
Okay. So, we just leave this one alone?
Yeah.
Motion to amend.
I got a motion to approve.
Because we can't approve it because we got this addition.
We can amend the agenda tonight to introduce the ordinance and call for that public hearing on a special meeting on the 16th. That's the fastest we can get this done.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
The agenda, we all have to vote on
And then we just
it. It has to be
amend
unanimous.
the capital
At
outlay
a later
budget
date, when we
when we got everything straight.
we can always add items based on a budget amendment, correct?
So the motion dies if they don't get a second.
Sir?
Hit, motion to approve, but it just stays.
If there's a motion and a second, then you have to roll call vote.
Huh?
I think if there's a motion and a second, we have to have a roll call vote. We didn't have a second.
We didn't have a second.
So then it would die.
Okay. So what's another? So we'll revisit that at on number 20, at the 20th.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need a motion, right? Yeah.
To introduce the amended.
Okay. Okay. Number 19. Huh?
The next thing the next thing you were speaking about was making a motion for the.
To introduce the amended.
The amendment for the meeting on the 16th, right?
Add the introduction of the 2025, 2026 capital outlay budget for existing projects.
So we need to do it now? Can we do it now? Okay, well, I make a motion to amend the capital outlay budget on the outstanding projects that we have and the funded ones, right?
Introduce an ordinance.
Introduce the ordinance that was advertised.
I'll second.
Okay.
I'll second. Mm-hmm.
All right, roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
No.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
No.
Number 19. Final vote on ordinance number 4269, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 utility fund budget.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Number 20, final vote on ordinance number 4270, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 wastewater impact fees fund budget.
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Number 21, final vote on ordinance number 4271, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Tangle Mall Economic Development District budget.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Number 22, final vote on ordinance number 4272, an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Conway Economic Development District budget.
Make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James?
Yes.
Number 23, final vote on ordinance number 4273, and ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Pay Center Economic Development District budget.
A motion to approve.
A second.
Okay, roll call vote, Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James?
Yes.
Number 24, final vote on ordinance number 4274, and ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2025-2026 Industrial Development District budget.
Make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James?
Yes.
Number 25, adopt a resolution to levy the millage rates on property within the city of Gonzales, subject to ad valorem taxation for the year 2025.
Make the motion to approve.
A second.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James?
Yes.
Number 26, DPW report.
Good evening, all. Streets and Drainage Department, cutting grass and weed eating, patching potholes, picking up litter and trash, straightening up signs, taking care of small miscellaneous drainage work orders, clean up the trucks and equipment. They dug out ditches and building catch basins on North Bryan. Utility Department, repairing water leaks all over the city, install water and gas meters. Got a lot of LA1 call tickets coming in, still flushing dead-end mains, and all Bryan water calls coming in. DHH finished up the last round of water samples for the month of March. They was all good. We got a good report from TMB on our water wells and water towers. Checking water wells, water towers, and generators. They cleaned up the trucks and equipment. Building and grounds, cutting grass and weed eating, painting curbs at City Hall, cleaning bathrooms at the parks and picking up litter, maintaining and keeping up the baseball fields, cutting the baseball fields. They cleaned up the shop, they blowed off everything, they cleaned all the equipment and the trucks, and they done some painting at the Chamber of Commerce building. The sewer department, checking lift station and generators, clean trucks and equipment. They repaired manholes in front of the Pay Center. They installed a motor at the lift station 46, which is Point Andrew. They inspected manholes on Belle Helene in San Francisco. They installed a new pump at lift station 9 off of East Evergreen. They replaced an aerator number 7 in the pond at the sewer plant. And they put oil in the pumps at lift station number 4, which is on Chelsea Street. And the parish plan on opening up the bridge on North Toby this week. And the guys picked up 113 bags of litter. Any questions?
Roosevelt, how about the bathrooms that we had got vandalized in the parks this year?
We working on maybe going to automatic locks.
We still hadn't done that yet?
No. We talked about it, and that's the next thing on our agenda to maybe look at that to help with vandalism and stuff like that, and the homeless in the bathrooms and stuff also.
Have they been tearing them up lately?
Not lately. We ain't had nothing real bad happen. No.
What about 44, the concrete work? They gonna keep going, or they stopping right there at Corner View?
Far as I know, they going to Airline. Far as I know, they going to Airline with it. Which we don't have nothing to do with DOTD, you know, doing that. That's a state highway.
But I think the city owns from Corner View to St. Teresa, maybe? I don't know.
I'll have to check on that and see.
Yeah, I it's Jared. See here. I'll check. Thank you.
All right.
Number 27, engineering report.
All right, Mayor and Council, thank y'all. Couple updates for you tonight. So number one, you will see a RFQ hitting the paper to update the city's comprehensive plan, basically their master plan. That'll be hitting the paper June 5th with a deadline of July 3rd. So that'll be next up on the docket. Updates for you all on the care center. As you know, construction's in progress. We do have an upcoming progress meeting here June 5th coming shortly. Site paving scheduled to be nearly complete then. And of course, we have grant funding for that construction that we have resolved, and that is in good shape at this point. Kennedy Heights, I had mentioned to y'all, we have the phase 2 project underway, right, in design. That's for the drainage within Kennedy Heights. So we have final plans due back from the consultant on June 6th. So that'll be coming due here shortly. And if you recall in a prior meeting, we did apply for grant funding for sidewalks throughout Kennedy Heights. So that application was made about, what is it now, about 2 weeks ago. So that is a long process. It's through DOTD, so we'll be waiting to hear, but hopeful that does get approved. Beyond that, the DOTD grant for sidewalks throughout the city on or near Highway 44, that feasibility study is in progress with the DOTD consultant Gresham Smith, so we're monitoring that. And we did hold a plan in hand for the connector road and adjacent work on 30. So that plan in hand happened last week. That generated a couple more comments. So we had an initial round of comments to the consultant. Plan in hand generated some more comments. They're picking those up now. Including potentially saving the city some funding for a possible detour that was in that project that we don't believe is necessary at this point. So we'll be looking at eliminating that, save the city a good bit of money on that project by eliminating that detour. So other than that, that is my update. If you have any questions, please feel free.
The phase 2 of Kennedy Heights, I thought that those plans were already in place.
So those plans were in progress, in design, right? So the consultant had submitted final plans, which we had some comments on. So they're resubmitting those final plans, and I believe the date I mentioned, 6/6.
I just thought when we submitted that 2 or 3 years ago, we had all of them.
So you had the phase 1, right, that the city actually authored that project through L. King. This is phase 2, and no, the design was not complete. What you're probably thinking of, that is a grant project, so they had an initial feasibility set of plans they had to submit for the grant. That was maybe what you're thinking of, but this would be the final set.
And it's a 3-phase project, or just a 2?
So I'm aware of 2. Okay. You had phase 1 with L. King, and this is phase 2. Hopefully phase 3 is the new DOT grant we get approved for. Keep our fingers crossed on that one.
So phase 2 will take care of the rest of the culverts throughout the subdivision and stuff that need to be.
Phase 2 is drainage and driveway aprons. Is it? All right, thank you very much.
Sir. Number 28, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah. That's some new. Yeah.